All right. This is 411 Sports Talk Radio, foreignradionetwork.com. We're back on. We're back live. We're finna do this thing hot. I've got Coach here. I've got my cousin Charles Williams here. Professor will be on soon. So we're back, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about. You know, we've got to talk about what's going on with A&M, because we got to deal with, you know, my cousin. I want to keep saying Chucky, but I'm gonna call him Charles. First of all, Coach, how you doing?
Good. How's everybody else?
You know, I got to start the roundtable, right? I got to see everybody's doing. How was your weekend? How was your weekend?
Weekend was fine. No complaints here, man. Anytime you get to be off and hang out with the fam, it's a good weekend.
There you go. Charles, can I say Chucky and just I can say you got to take yourself off mute. Your mute button is really good. It's working. There you go. You're still on mute.
Your lips are moving, but we can't hear you, brother.
But we can hear you, yeah. Yeah, your mic is not connected. There you go.
We're gonna assume his weekend was muted.
Yeah, his weekend was muted. Okay, yeah. We still can't. He done muted himself again. I have no idea what you're doing. Okay, try it again.
We were just talking to you.
Exactly. He muted himself again. You know what? We're gonna move past that right there. Okay, I can hear you.
Yeah.
There you go. Wow, God, dog it.
Okay. All right.
Technology.
Cool. All right.
Technology is off the chain in this place right here.
It's off the chain. It is.
How was your weekend?
Everything was cool. Weekend was cool, man. Weekend was cool. Hung out with some friends. Birthday was last week, so I got to.
Okay. Yeah, your birthday. Yeah. What are you? 29 now?
Man, I wish 29 plus 20.
Well, you at 49 now? You almost up there with me?
49.
You almost up there with me, huh?
Yes, almost.
Man. All right, you'll never catch me though.
I hope not. Unlike this presidential election, we can keep counting, but I ain't gonna catch up.
Yeah. I don't want to keep counting either. Okay, so. Oh, okay, I got it. All right. So let's talk about, you know, what's going on with, you know, this. Let's talk about what's going on with this NFL. First of all, I got a couple of some news things we need to deal with. Okay. Try it again. All right, so I got some news. You know, I always do sports news. Now I take my news from 411sportsnews.com. If you want to go, you know, all day, every day, that's where I take my news from. You know, Big Ben is for among the players in Pittsburgh that's going on COVID-19.
I saw that.
You know, we just added the professor. What's going on, Professor?
Everything is everything.
Boy, he got that fan going. Like, we need to be over there. He look cool
good over
here. Yeah. So we got the professor going. COVID-19 is taking over the NFL right now. The NFL is having some conversations about how we're going to deal with, you know, going through the rest of the year. Do we think the NFL is going to finish out the rest of the year? Are we going to have the full season?
I think they have put enough things in place to try to have a good season, have a full season.
Yeah. I think they could have a full season. I mean, the way they're doing things, they're taking players out and then saying, okay, y'all stay at home and then we'll keep playing.
Right. That's what you should do. That's why you have a 53-man roster.
Yeah, you got 53 men. You know, but the way the Cowboys are going, they're gonna be down to the last 22 of the roster.
Well, again, I'm one that says that they should sit everybody anyway and let the kids play and just get through the season and limp through it. And then, I'm not a big proponent of what they got going, what they're running out week in and week out anyway. So just let the kids play, sit down the guys that are prone to be hurt, and just kind of limp through the rest of the season.
Oh, you want a first round draft choice?
Well, I mean, again, I do, and I want to draft a trade for Amari Cooper.
You don't like him? Okay, that's a whole new conversation. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah,
we're gonna definitely get to that. So you have that going on. The NBA. Well, number one, let me go back to my news. The NBA just hired another coach. Who's that? Who's the coach they hired? I forget his name, so that's not necessarily news.
What team?
If I forget his name.
What team?
It was New York.
Steve Nash for Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Steve Nash
from Brooklyn. Yeah. And then I think Popeye Jones got hired as a coach. What do we think about?
Steve
What do we
Nash
think
is the
about
head
these
coach.
players being hired as coaches?
And Mike D'Antoni.
Mike D'Antoni's on the bench for
It's
Tyrone.
fine.
I
Yeah,
think it's cool. I think it's fine. I'm interested to see some of these staffs. I think Chauncey Billups just got an assistant job,
he did. Yeah,
and Stoudemire's an assistant for Steve Nash. So I'm interested to see how these players are basically go from being extraordinary players to see what their coaching game looks like, and they're linking themselves up with people that they played with. So I want to see how that works out.
yeah. What's going on with Avery Johnson? How come he's not getting approached by anybody?
I think Avery got the same thing that Mark
He's
Jackson
failed
got.
everywhere.
Isaiah Thomas. He got the Isaiah Thomas disease, right?
Well, at least Isaiah Thomas is still considered. Avery's not even in the conversation, and Mark Jackson's not even in conversation anymore.
Right. They're not.
So I don't know what it was.
I think Avery's
did.
had his opportunities, and I think Avery's had his opportunities. He's failed. He went off to the college ranks at Alabama. He failed, and I think people are realizing that coaching is just—he's not your lead guy.
Right.
And I don't think at this point in his career he's interested in being an assistant anywhere. So I think he's decided, look, I'll make money. I'll be retired, and I'll talk about the game on one of these outlets, ESPN, Fox, wherever he is now. But he's gotten his opportunities. They haven't worked out. Alabama gave him 3 or 4 years. He couldn't turn that thing around. The Mavericks gave him plenty of time. He couldn't turn this thing around. And, now it's one of those deals where I just don't think he can get a job because I think people are going a different direction now. He's more of a defensive-minded coach, and the game is offensive now. So
completely.
I think you're going to be hard-pressed to find any defensive-minded coaches get hired anymore. I think you're going to have offensive-minded coaches first. And there might be an exception to the rule here or there. I think Ty Lue's kind of an exception because he won a championship. I think he's kind of defensive-minded, but overall, you're going to get mainly offensive-minded coaches.
I like the kid.
That's why Brooklyn hired Steve Nash.
I like the kid that just got hired at Philadelphia that came from here, Silas. I think he has a defensive mind.
No, he got hired in Houston. Doc Rivers is the coach in Philly.
Oh, yeah, in Houston. I think he's got a defensive mind. I like the way he helped out. I've watched him on the bench. I think he does have a mind to play defense. I think he's a little more defensive-minded, which is what they needed in Houston anyway.
Mm-hmm. All right,
let's be able to tell by what they do with the offseason moves.
Now, they still jacking up threes, and they, up by 10, and then we'll see that none of that matters. So.
Yeah, let's keep it moving. The AP poll is out. Top 25 college. Alabama's 1.
Yeah.
Notre Dame is 2.
Lucky.
Ohio State is 3.
Really lucky.
You got Clemson at number 4. Wow. And now wait, you gotta let me say it.
Giggle.
You gotta let me say it. A&M is number 5. How did they jump that high to number 5?
Well, because we beat Florida and we dismantled South Carolina.
Yeah, A&M is number 5. Florida's number 6.
Yeah.
So your next Oklahoma State is number 14. Oklahoma is number 18. SMU is 19.
Yeah.
You got
Where's UT?
UT is
Nobody cares.
21. No, come on now. Come on now.
Nobody cares.
No, Coach will love you for. I mean, Coach will love you for that right there, because my daughter. He calls my daughter Orangey Winehead. What'd you call my daughter?
Whiny Orangehead.
Okay, whatever.
Whiny Orangehead.
Because she went to Texas.
Yeah,
But
unfortunately.
still, but there's 21 though.
Ain't but 25 spots. I guess they had to fill in the bottom.
Well, shoot, SMU is at 19, and the professor went to SMU.
And he should be very proud of that.
SMU would beat Texas if they played each other right now.
SMU would beat Texas this morning. Anywhere.
Texas is ranked. Texas is ranked, but Texas is not a good football team. Tom
Texas
Herman
ranked
can't
by
put an
name
offense
only.
out there. By name only, completely
By
agree.
name only. I would say North Texas could beat Texas right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I won't go there.
Nah, I'm not going there. Yeah, I'm not going there either. Yeah. You stepping on your toes now.
Okay. I mean, again, Texas ranked strictly by name only. And I bet right now they're clawing their skin off that they didn't go back and hire my man in North Carolina. They didn't bring him back.
Who you talking about? The
Brown?
coach, Mac Brown.
Mike Brown, yeah.
Well, they got rid of Mike Brown after Tommy
Got
Strong,
rid of
right?
Mike Brown, and
then they
North
brought in
Carolina
Strong.
brought Mike Brown back, and look what North Carolina's doing.
North Carolina is actually, are they ranked? No. North Carolina's not ranked at all.
Yeah, but
No, so they're not doing anything. North Carolina's not ranked.
you still hanging on Texas.
They're an
21,
improved
though,
football
right?
team. They're just not
They're a
ranked.
much improved football team.
But that's still they are 5-2 though.
They're
North
a
Carolina
much
is fine.
improved football
Yep.
team.
Yeah, so all right. Well, I mean, I don't know if we got a full season to go because of this pandemic, but
Which
you
is
know.
why I say Notre Dame caught the COVID-19 has helped anybody. It helped Notre Dame.
Well, Notre Dame is up there. They are ranked number 2. They're 7-0.
They caught Clemson without their big gun. That's all. That's the only reason. If Trevor Lawrence is playing Saturday night, that game's not even we're not even talking about that game. It's a wrap. It ain't in overtime, and it certainly ain't a loss.
They scored 40 points without Trevor Lawrence. I mean, what, Trevor Lawrence is going to count for another 20 or something? Well, come on, man. I think the offense, when you watch
I
the
think they
game,
made. I think having him on the field, not that they wouldn't score it anymore, but I think having his leadership on the field would have calmed them in some of those situations. Because again, even in the overtime, they looked rushed, they looked befuddled, they didn't look like they were ready to go. I just say Trevor Lawrence, point wise, probably not, but I guess leadership wise, they'd have won that game. He'd have willed them to win that game. I do believe the quarterback position can at some point. Your quarterback, just like I think in the NFL, your head coach should win you at least 2 or 3 games. Your quarterback should at least get you at least 1 to 2 victories.
But Trevor Lawrence doesn't play defense.
He does not. He does
They
not.
gave up 47 points. He doesn't play
does not.
defense. I mean, let's look, man. I heard a lot of people say this, and I'm gonna keep this quick because I know we got to move on. We got to not disrespect Notre Dame. That was impressive. Okay, yes, Trevor Lawrence didn't play. Clemson still scored 40. Okay, and if you score 40, you're supposed to win the football game. Their defense let them down. So instead of us worried about Trevor Lawrence, we need to be looking at Brent Venables and figure out what the hell he was doing out there because Notre Dame was running it down their throat. And I haven't seen Clemson get beat physically in the trenches like that in a very long time. And Notre Dame's offensive line was manhandling Clemson. And Trevor Lawrence wouldn't have been able to do anything about that. So I'm going to give Notre Dame credit. They're a top 4 team. I don't know if they're the second best team in the country, but they're definitely a top 4 team, no doubt in my mind about it. And they're probably we'll find out because I think they're going to play each other again in the ACC title game. Trevor Lawrence hopefully will be there this time, and we're going to find out. It'll be a little revenge factor in play. And even if Clemson wins that game, I think if Notre Dame keeps it close and Notre Dame's undefeated at the time, they still shouldn't fall out of the top 4.
All right. That's the news for today. We're gonna keep it moving. Professor, we all sit around and wait for 4 quarters. That's all we come. Yeah, that's the only way right here on the show for 4 quarters. Professor, you got 4 quarters for us.
Yeah, I got it, buddy.
All right. Let's hold on 1 second. Let me put this up there. There we go. See, I got that.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's go. 4 quarters.
All right. Without further ado, first quarter.
We need to have a buzzer for a red flag.
I know.
So when Benchwarmer says something ridiculous, we can buzzer.
Challenge card. Rick, yell at the challenge card. Challenge.
All right, let's go to first quarter. Which team, this is NBA related, which team is most likely to dethrone the Lakers in the West, Coach?
Oh no. No. That's not
my squad. Who's going to dethrone my squad?
Challenge.
My
Wait,
championship team?
Challenge. Don't start with him.
I know a lot of people assume because Golden State's going to get the shooters back, Clay and Steph, and think they're going to get back to form. It makes me the most nervous. In all reality, it's not the Clippers. Denver. Denver last year, before the year started, I was telling my son I thought Denver was really, really deep. I just thought they were young and they weren't ready. I think this bubble and this run that they had in playoffs, the maturity that they gained, then the improvement that Mike Porter will probably show season, the return to full health from some players they were missing, with Barton being out, and then Gary Harris coming back late. This is a dangerous basketball team. They have an inside-outside game. Murray, we all saw, became a megastar in the playoffs. He's ready to take that next step. So of all the teams in the West, man, Denver really scared me the most. So I would say Denver is the biggest threat.
All right, Mr. Williams.
I like Dame Dollar and them boys out in Portland. I think
I'm gonna say the same thing.
I think Dame Dollar and those boys have they gonna come back with on a mission mentality, and because the way they went out and hurt, and I think Dame getting hurt at the end really is kind of refueling him, and so I've watched him. I follow him on Instagram, and I've started seeing his rehab and his workout. He's adding boxing to try to create a new mentality in his mindset. So I really think, and if they sign Carmelo back, I really like the Portland Trailblazers.
Miss Warmer.
I was gonna say the same thing. Portland's always put together some good teams. They've had talent. Portland's had talent for a long time, but they've got they hadn't necessarily meshed that talent together to be a winning team. But I think if you want to look at a team that's going to dethrone the Lakers, number one, you got to look at LeBron. Is he going to stay there? And what kind of atmosphere is he going to consistently create? But then, if you want to talk about a team that's going to dethrone the Lakers, I'm with you, Chuck. Portland. I think that's going to be your best bet.
Well, and also, I think the other biggest ship to fall is going to be Giannis. If Giannis decides to jump ship and come to the West, wherever he lands, it could be busy. But I put an asterisk by the Mavericks because again, I like.
Goodness!
Toward the end of the year, and I do like them coming back. So we'll see.
Okay.
Stay healthy, we can see.
Okay, so Shusky, I'm gonna have to cross you off real quick. Don't say the Mavericks. I don't.
Mavericks have a better chance than Portland.
No, because Mavericks need another person.
A better basketball team in Portland. Come on, man. What those little guards? Are you kidding me?
Portland's got more talent than the Mavericks do. They have more complete team.
That is a negative. That's a negative.
Wait, and you're different.
Fat negative. They don't have a more complete team than Mavericks.
And
the Mavericks would have beat the Clippers had Porzingis not got hurt.
They would have beat the Clippers.
No, Portland. No. Okay, that's y'all's opinion. It's wrong, But it's an opinion.
It's wrong. It's y'all opinion.
It's wrong.
It's wrong, but that's y'all opinion.
How can an opinion be wrong?
It's yours, but
It's
it's
an
wrong.
opinion.
Portland. Have y'all seen the Western Conference? Portland.
I like Portland.
Come on, guys.
I like Utah as well.
I get it. I like Dame too, though. Don't get me wrong. Dame is the truth, but him as a team, no.
What about Oklahoma City?
Oklahoma City, who?
Thunder.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You being funny?
Right. I'm like, what? They must be
All right.
bringing everybody back. They put the band back together.
Yeah, they're gonna bring Westbrook back together. They're gonna bring
James
Durant. Yeah, James Harden. They put all three back together.
Coach, what do you think about Houston?
No, Houston's dead.
Until Houston decides to play a real brand of basketball, I'm eliminating them from the equation. They
Houston's
play
dead.
gimmick ball, and I don't like gimmick ball.
Houston's dead. Yeah, they're dead in the water. All they have is Harden, and you know his stuff is getting old.
He may be a 76 before the end of the day. So
He might be a Laker before the end of the day.
I saw something today about the
no.
Lakers that I was really interested in. I like them if they go out and get God Almighty, what's the center from Toronto?
Serge Ibaka.
Yeah, they get Serge Ibaka. I like him in Los Angeles. I like Serge. LeBron, AD, and you can put Jenny Buss and somebody out there, and you still got to run it.
But you know, AD should have got the MVP for the finals, right?
No, he shouldn't have.
I don't know about that.
No, he shouldn't.
He should. I mean, it wasn't LeBron. It wasn't LeBron.
Yeah, I think LeBron
Anthony Davis had a game where he only scored 14 points. No, he shouldn't have.
10. Yeah, he was terrible.
No. Yeah,
All right, quarter
Just
quarter
curious,
number two.
Professor, who do you think? 1 second. I got to hear what the Professor thinks on this one. Because you said Portland. I got to hear some reasons outside.
Yeah,
of
he did.
myself
He did ask the question.
So before we go to quarter number two, I think the person that provided one of the best answers on this forum was Mr. Charles Williams. He mentioned the Mavericks, and people forget that the Mavericks present a lineup problem to the Lakers in terms of position. For whatever reason, when the Mavs play the Lakers, the Mavs matchups are something that the Lakers, other than LeBron and other than AD, Rajon Rondo, whoever want to put back there, the Mavs present matchup problems for the Lakers. And when these two teams play each other, the Mavs play very well against the Lakers. So I don't deny Mr. Williams' comment about the Mavs. I'm not going to ever discount the Mavs because we have seen, all of us have seen that when the Mavs play the Lakers, it tends to be a close game. And I believe it was one game this year to where the Lakers kind of blew the Mavs out. And I believe that was because the Mavs wasn't fully healthy. But when you have a healthy Luka and a healthy KP and a healthy Hardaway, along with the nice bench that the Mavs do have, the Mavs are a problem. So it's a great segue to quarter number two. Speaking of the Mavs, Mr. Williams, what key free agents can the Mavs add alongside Luka and KP for the mid-level exception?
Oh man. Honestly, I thought about this earlier. I like Gariana or Darnari. I like one of those guys that have played with Luka in his past. He seems to bond well with previous teammates. We need a steady rebounder. Another big wouldn't be bad. That way we would take – when KP has to go down and bang, I think that does affect his game offensively. So I think we need – I like the other German, but I think he's not a shooter. We need a big that can shoot and rebound, and then just let the two guys just work the floor like they do. So I like Gallinari.
And do you believe that the Mavs, if they need a key third piece besides Hardaway, should KP be looked at as a 3 and they go out in free agency and try to get a 2?
Well, that's the other thing. I'm a big fan of Tim Hardaway Jr. I like him. I like him in this mix. I think he needs to, and I hate to say this about somebody, but I think he needs to go to his dad for shooting lessons. I think he needs to work on the shot. And I like his defense. I like his hustle. I do not like his shooting. And I think he needs to get a shooting coach over the summer between now and November and work on just putting 200 shots up a day and just work on that part. If we can get him a consistent shooter, I like Tim Hardaway Jr. I like to keep him with us. And
So
also,
basically,
if we could make sure we sign back the guards we picked up. Now, Willie Cauley-Stein, I'm done with that experiment. Again, I can be done with that. But as long as we keep the Curry kid and the other guard that we picked up before, Bronson, if we can keep those guys around, I like both of them.
so it sounds to me that if Tim Hardaway Jr. steps up his game, do the Mavs really need a third piece? Or is he the third piece?
He is the third piece if he can shoot. If we can get a more consistent 20, 25 out of him a night, I think he is the third piece.
Okay. All right, Coach.
I don't think you're getting 20, 25 a night out of Hardaway because Luka and Porzingis are going to get so many shots. But if he can give you 17, somewhere in there, he'd be good. As far as free agents for the Mavericks, I just think the Mavericks need some toughness. Need a guy or two that will go out there and do what Porzingis and Luka really won't do and give a little bit of a hip check. Somebody who's attacking the basket, one of those little guys, take the hard foul, have a little bit of nasty in them. I think they should think about bringing back a guy like Jay Crowder. I think Jay Crowder would be a good fit if you brought him back. I don't think you need more scoring. Scoring's not the problem with them. They need more guys that are defensive-minded who are capable of making over three-pointers and pretty much leave the team intact. Just add a couple of dogs who mindset's not necessarily scoring, but if they're on the court, they have ability to make a shot. And then I think you'll be fine. So really, the only person I can think of right now that would be reasonable is probably Jay Crowder. I don't think you can get a hold of a Serge Ibaka. I think he'll cost too much money. Favors will probably be too much money as well. I think he's a friend, if I'm not mistaken. So, and I'm sure after what Morris did to Luka, the Maverick fans don't want Morris here. So,
Exactly.
guy I like Jay Crowder.
You do need to thug it up a little bit. Here's a name I throw out there. If that's the case. If we trying to thug it up just a 10. Randy Galloway made that. Maybe just thug it up a little bit. See if you got some guys that want to box. I'm thinking, wow, what guys are out there that are really, monsters that'll box with us? Boogie Cousins.
Yeah, no.
I take a flyer.
No.
He wouldn't be a good fit there.
No.
Why? Again, what are you losing with that? You giving him the league exemption. You don't know if he's healthy enough. So I'd run Boogie out there. He's gonna give you everything, and he can hit the outside shot.
I got three names for you. Okay, I got three names for you. Brandon Ingram, Fred VanVleet.
Won't be able to afford him.
Can't afford Brandon Ingram.
And then Gordon
Not
Howard.
gonna be able to afford him.
No.
But the other two is Gordon Howard and Fred VanVleet.
Gordon Hayward, you're not gonna be able to afford
Gordon
him.
Hayward? No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, Hayward. Yeah.
No.
I mean, but Mavericks got money though.
But you had that when you had Chandler Parsons. I mean, the kid out of Houston. You spent all that money on. It's about the same.
And then you want to
the third guy.
Yeah.
Who's
Hayward
the third guy?
Hayward was third guy. I got Fred VanVleet. VanVleet. Yeah.
No, you're not going to be able to afford him. He's going to cost too much money.
Yeah, you ain't gonna call. You can't afford VanVleet.
With the Mavericks.
Brandon Ingram's going to get a max contract. Ingram's going to get a max contract. Fred VanVleet's probably going to get close to a max contract.
Close to a max.
And Gordon Hayward, he won't get a max contract, but he'll get $9 to $10 million a year. So you're not going to.
the Mavericks are willing to spend money on some players.
They're willing to take on some.
But see, this is why I mentioned mid-level exception, because and just to put it on the table, mid-level allows teams over the cap the Mavs are over the cap, an opportunity to add to their roster within the free agent above minimum salary deals. So with the money you invest into KP, which and the money you're going to invest in Luka Doncic, you gotta hang on to whatever you have because you know he's gonna get the super max deal.
Supermax. Luka getting the Supermax.
Right. He's getting the Supermax. Yeah.
He's getting a super max, but so Donnie Nelson and company have to be mindful that if they do have money, they got to keep in mind some of that money is going to have to go to Luka sooner or later. You can't just willingly the free spend and have nothing left, and you know Doncic is going to end up having a super max deal either next year or the year after.
He's not going to give you the
so that's why I mentioned no, that ain't happening.
He ain't giving you
that
the
ain't happening.
Discount.
It's super max, so he's not in Dallas.
But they're gonna
in the Mavs uniform.
But they're gonna spend money on a compliment to Luka as well as KP. The Mavericks got to spend money on a compliment to Luka and KP.
Yeah, but this is why I mentioned a guy like Jay Crowder, because Brandon Ingram, that's not realistic. They're not going to be able to afford him. They're not going to be able to afford Fred VanVleet. That man's a champion and a starting guard for the Raptors. He's got to get paid. And Gordon Hayward is still a 17-point-a-game scorer. That's at least $10 million a year. You're looking at a guy that complements those other two well, who will bring some toughness, who can make the open three-pointer. Jay Crowder fits that bill. He was good with Miami this year. He'll be good back in Dallas with Porzingis and Luka. He's very unselfish. I think he'd be a great fit, and he'll fit right into that mid-level. You probably won't have to give him the full mid-level.
Yeah.
But they got to get it.
A perfect guy for this team, but you can't afford him, would be Marcus Smart. You need a guy that's able to do it all and that's unselfish.
I agree with that.
For Marcus Smart. You couldn't.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
You make a trade for him because he does want to come back home and play.
Because he's a shutdown defender too. Yeah, I agree with that. Quarter number 3.
All right. Do the Patriots regret signing Cam Newton, or do Cam Newton regret signing with the Patriots? So we're gonna start with bench warmer.
Cam Newton regrets signing with any team that's gonna let him get hit. For me, Cam Newton's a wimp. As big as he is, he can't take a hit at all. You know, and he got the little funny hat and the funny hairdo and everything. You know, I'm sorry. The thing with the Patriots to me though is that you needed Bill Belichick and Tom Brady to make the Patriots. You can't have one without the other. So anybody you sign to the Patriots, you know, they're gonna have some issues. Like Tampa Bay got issues because Tom Brady don't have a Bill Belichick. So those two go hand in hand. So does Cam Newton regret signing? No, he's getting paid. And you know, as long as he's getting paid, he's fine.
So but the question is, now the question is, do the Patriots regret signing him, or do he regret signing with the Patriots?
I think it's twofold. Both of them regret signing each other. I mean, because if you don't have Cam Newton, I mean, the Patriots gonna be worse than where they are now. But then if you got Cam Newton, you are where you are. We are who you are. So I think they're both regretting signing each other.
Nah, I think the Patriots feel good about signing Cam Newton. I think Cam is regretting he signed there. I think the Patriots already knew that they were going to be in trouble. I mean, they haven't had a new quarterback in 20 seasons. So I think they already knew what they had. And so by signing him, it kind of gave them a validity to be like, well, we did go out and make one free agent. We signed Cam and it didn't work. So it does build in an excuse of us not being productive. I think Cam signing with him and not being productive is kind of like his last shot at it. And now, if you can't make it with Bill Belichick, it's kind of like
you ain't gonna make it at all.
Make it with, right?
Yeah.
So I think for Cam, the conversation is that's why he was so, upon himself. Like, you got to make this work, because if you can't make it work with Belichick, then nobody's gonna try to run a flyer on you. And so I think for him, he may have should have waited a season and took a better opportunity. I think the Patriots just kind of did it for cover. We signed Cam and it didn't work out, and so here we are in the draft looking for a quarterback. We're gonna be looking for a quarterback anyway. So
Yeah, but
I
once
think the Patriots got exactly what they were looking for. I think Cam is the one that's regretting it.
once you do that though, once you do that, and you can't make it with Bill Belichick, quote unquote, then you're right. Ain't nobody gonna sign Cam no more. This
Correct.
is one and done.
Exactly.
So-
and the Patriots did spend but $890,000 or something. So
They didn't spend a lot.
It worked out for them, especially because they're gonna end up with a high draft pick, which is what Bill likes.
Unless the Cowboys trump them, but we'll talk about that later. Coach.
I think they're both fine with each other. I don't think either was regretting the deal at all. I think Cam Newton, he did wait for the best opportunity, and what better opportunity to go play for Bill Belichick in New England. Unfortunately, like what Tom Brady was dealing with, he doesn't have any weapons. And along with not having any weapons, had a lot of people for New England opt out. So that's not the New England team that we're accustomed to seeing around the quarterback, especially defensively, because I couldn't believe what the Jets were doing to them last night. I think Cam went into the situation thinking, okay, with Bill Belichick, at least I got a real coach. So put me in a position to be successful, which he has. Cam hasn't always delivered. You know, this team easily record could be flip-flop. I mean, fumbled against Buffalo and they were about to score. He had a terrific comeback yesterday. He threw the ball very well. Some young receivers looked like they stepped up. Then Belichick got exactly what he wanted out of the deal. I want a quarterback that's good enough for us to compete, but not too good for us to have some great record. I can still give me a solid first-round pick, let him walk, and then we move forward. So I think both of them were getting exactly what they wanted out of the deal. I don't think either one of them was regretting it because we know Belichick. If he regretted signing Cam wouldn't be there.
Yeah,
Let's be real.
Yeah.
I mean, but you just said that. You just said that something else. So is Cam living up to what we expected, or is this what we expected?
I think.
What were you
Cam
expecting? Everybody
Yeah,
thought
that's
Cam
what I was
was
gonna
good.
ask. Like,
So what exactly were you expecting?
Maybe we expecting Cam to be the Cam of old.
and all you got is old Cam.
If he was the old Cam, he'd still be in Carolina.
Right. Well, I don't know.
I mean,
Man,
he wasn't the old Cam.
No. They was through with Cam.
Yeah, they were moving on, but I
Yeah,
just
for the
think
past 2 years.
Let me tell you something. If Cam Newton was still playing at the MVP level, he would still be there.
No,
Matt
I
Rule's
think
offense is for Cam Newton. That's the type of offense people run. That's a Cam Newton offense.
I'm gonna say this right here. The moment Cam in the Super Bowl did not go for that fumble, he was done.
I don't believe that.
You're not gonna let that go, are you?
You ain't gonna let him go. You just ain't gonna let him go. You want that man to dive in
done.
the mosh pit? Okay.
He was done. Hey, they did Tony Romo like that on the fumble, the Seattle fumble. Hey, the moment Cam Newton did, it's a Super Bowl. Boy, you go after and his explanation was, well, I got my whole career to think of. Dude, you might never get to the Super Bowl again. Go get the ball.
Tony Romo did pick it up and try to score. He was just slow.
He did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, well, I mean, you can't.
He did try to score.
He did. But Newton, Cam didn't even go for the football. He didn't jump. He didn't dive or nothing like that. And then after that, his conversations were, well, they hit me too hard. Why they hit me too hard? Why they going after me like this right here? I'm like, dude, shut up and play the football game.
I mean, there are several things that Cam Newton has said he probably regrets.
Yeah.
That's at the top of the list. But let's just think about it. Cam is still trying to mature. He's still trying to figure out, his place here in the league. He's a gifted athlete that's been gifted and athletic his whole life. He took that hit down in Florida with the stolen laptop, came down here to Blinn College, did outstanding at Blinn, went back to Auburn and won a national championship, the Heisman Trophy, and been good ever since. So again, he's still trying to figure it out, but I think this is not doing him any favors. I think this offseason he's going to have to do a lot of soul searching and a lot of figuring out. I would suggest he gets a quarterback coach and figure out how to adapt his game and learn how to be a pocket passer. I think the running Cam is over. We saw that outside of the Tom Brady sneak. I don't think he's running anymore.
Nah, yeah. All right, we got third quarter or fourth quarter?
fourth quarter, who will win NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year? Charles Williams.
Oh my.
Mm.
Man. Whew. Offensive Player of the Year. I don't know. He started late, but I think Tua may have a good shot at it. Or Burrow.
Yeah, he did start. Well, Burrow, I think Burrow has a better shot at it.
I think if Tua gets the Dolphins to the playoffs, he definitely gets it.
And we see Coach shaking his head already.
All right, Coach.
That's your guys' final answer?
No, Coach, you go. I hadn't answered yet.
Okay. This, to me, it's a two-man race. It's Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert out there. I don't know if people paying attention. Has been absolutely spectacular. Spectacular. The young man has a 104 passer rating, 17 touchdowns, 5 picks, 2,146 yards passing. This team's defense is so stupid that they keep blowing leads, or this team would be sitting here with maybe only 2 losses. This young man has been spectacular, and nobody's paying attention, and they need to. He is better than good, and I'm shocked because when he came out of Oregon, I thought he would struggle. I was wrong. He can make all the throws. He moves around the pocket well. It doesn't hurt that he has that beast Keenan Allen, but this man is really, really good. And I think if y'all ain't paying attention, you might need to start because I'm watching him every week on TV because he's special, and I enjoy watching him play football. And so it's a two-man race. He had a good game against Arizona. I'm not sold to a steal. Arizona's defense is bad, so I'll wait to see him play somebody a little more
if he gets that
interesting
team to
on
playoffs,
defense.
it's hands down his trophy. If he gets Miami,
He
to the
wouldn't get
playoffs,
them there because they are already in position when he took over the team.
They were 3-3. Or they were 3. Yeah, I mean, again, I like him. I like Tua. I like what he's presenting. I think the team has rallied around the young guy, and I think they'll put it through. And I like Burrow. I think Cincinnati's going to be Cincinnati.
Yeah, sorry, gonna be sorry, right? I don't know. I like Burrow too. You're talking about a franchise, and we're looking at a full franchise that's been like just crappy for a long time, and Burrow is putting them in position. Although they did lose, but they didn't lose because of him. They lost because of their defense. They lost because of the franchise itself. Tua, when his first start, I was not necessarily impressed with his first start. The defense, Miami's defense, stepped up and did a lot of stuff. Who was the quarterback in San Diego? Who's a rookie?
Justin Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert. Yeah, he's really showing some stuff. He's really showing stuff, and you're right, because of his defense. He doesn't play defense, but he's putting points on the board. I think it's out of those three. And if I'm picking out of those three, I'm going to pick.
Joe Burrow has a. Go ahead.
All right, you froze.
I did.
Okay.
You're okay now. You're okay. You're okay.
You okay? You saying
No,
Joe Burrow?
Saying Joe has 91.4 QB rating. 91.4. Herbert's QB rating is 13 points higher. Okay, I don't think we realize how good this young man is. This young man's good. We might want to put some respect on that rookie's name.
I mean, I like him, but I'll watch him. I'll see what else happens over there. I'll see what else happens with the rest of the season. We'll watch them both.
Yeah, if I was picking one right now, I would pick Joe Burrow. If I was picking one, I'd pick Joe Burrow. All right. So we got overtime, or we good?
Yeah, we got one on overtime.
All right, let's go overtime.
So Roger Goodell wants an onside kick alternative. He says the 4th and 15 proposal merits a lot of discussion. So my question to the table is, should we have an alternative for the onside kick? And the alternative would be, instead of the onside kick, it's 4th and 15. Coach.
Sure. That's cool. Anything to make the game more exciting. You give me 4th and 15, an opportunity to get a first down and keep it going, or an onside kick. And I'm gonna be honest, I like my chances better on a 4th and 15 than I do on an onside kick. So that would be fine with me, because I guarantee you, 90% or more of the teams are taking the 4th and 15. You trying to tell me onside kick or give me 4th and 15 with Kyler Murray at quarterback, Drew Brees at quarterback, Russell Wilson? Oh yeah, I'm in on that all day, every day.
I think that's cool, but I think that we cannot start to remove special teams out of the equation.
Right.
I think it's forcing special team coaches to become more creative. I mean, we Cowboys have a victory predicated on special teams. I think someone else recovered one. There have been 2 this season. I think you have to keep that element, but it makes coaches coach and become more creative. And I think for me, I want the game to keep evolving. So we got the watermelon kick now. Now we got to figure out a way to kick it off the tee or not off the tee or sideways. I think those things are what I want to see. I want to see special teams coach, special teams coordinators become more creative in the onside and create ways to make it. Because again, if you got to drop kick it, you got to create a way that makes that more exciting into that. I think just another down will just be another down. I know it's 4th and 15, but I want to see you be creative in your special teams and make something happen. I think we've outlawed special teams to a point where it takes the game away. You have to really be somebody to break off a kickoff now or a punt return. And I think we ought to keep that onside kick in the game.
Yeah, I agree. I think we've gone so far as to taking away certain aspects of the game. We're doing so much to take away the defense. Like you can't hit a defensive player. You can't do a whole bunch of stuff. You can't. We've taken away the defensive aspect of the game to where, you got whatever it is, you hold hands up. Now we're gonna take away the special teams position in the game. I'm an old man. I'm an old school guy. Let's go back to the 70s when they played football. The more decades we get, the more we get to where we're playing tag team. We're playing flag football. And I'm not that component of flag football. If you breathe on him, he's down. No, I hate it when they had in the grass. I'm glad they got rid of it in the grass. So stop taking away the aspects of the game and keep the aspects of the game as they are. Special teams is what it is. If you want to do an onside kick, do an onside kick. Don't give the option of, hey, we can do 4th and 15. 4th and 15 is great, but guess what? How many people have converted on 4th and 15 or 3rd and 15? No. Don't even introduce that into the rules. If you want to onside kick it, onside kick it.
All right. That's the end of 4 quarters.
Nice.
All right. So, coming up in the next, as far as how long I can talk, we got our standings, and we got this week's games, and we need to talk about the Cowboys. And I want to start this. Well, yeah, we do. We're in Dallas. You got to. I know. You didn't really want to, but.
Whoa.
So, let's talk about the standings right now. Do you want to talk about last week's, or you want to talk about the overall?
Excuse me, real quick, guys. I gotta take a potty.
You can start with last week's. It's cool. Start there.
All right, so Jay, which is my brother-in-law, and my dad and Dr. Rock. Remember, Chuck? Remember Dr. Rock?
Yep.
He's in on with us.
Okay.
They all three had 11. And you know my dad, right?
Yeah.
You know he gonna talk noise, right?
Always.
Yeah. So they all had 11. My nephew, my wife, and my brother had 10. So we don't deal with my wife right now. I had 9. My uncle had 9. My brother-in-law had 9, and then Philly had 9. My daughter had 8. My sister had 8. My brother-in-law had 7, and then everything else really don't matter. Oh wait, I'm sorry, Professor. You didn't pick for the second week in a row.
I totally forgot.
So you had 5.
There she is.
Yeah, we ain't gone to year to date yet. So we ain't going year to date yet.
There she is.
You know why she's sitting here? Because year to date, she's got 93 points.
Well, you know, years I always thought she was the smartest sports fan in that house for a long time. Anyway.
No, she ain't the smartest sports fan in the house. So I don't know where you coming from with all that right there. My dad has 89. Kevin has 87. We got a Philly fan that's got 87. Jay, which is my brother-in-law, has got 86. Is that yeah? My uncle has got 85. Dr. Rock has got 85. My brother-in-law's got 84. I've got 83. My nephew Noah's got 83 also.
Okay, so you and Noah are tied?
Yeah.
Did you let the people know how old Noah is?
Huh?
Did you let the folks know how old Noah is?
Noah is my
Noah
nephew.
Is?
Yes, my nephew. Yeah.
How old is he?
We can go. Can I keep moving?
10.
Yeah, something like that.
Right.
Something like that. Anyway, Casey's got 83. His mother's got less than him.
Right. But you're not better than a 10-year-old? Is that what you're telling me?
This ain't a game. This ain't a sports game.
Hey, give
sports,
your headset to your wife. She know what she's talking about.
I ain't no giving the headset to her. She don't know what she's talking about. No, she been cheating. She has been cheating because she goes on some type of site or something like that. Wherever she goes on,
You better go on that site.
I don't know what she's doing, but she cheating.
You're not being a 10-year-old.
No, how the heck she get 93 and I got 83?
Well, you better find out because you right now you beating the 10-year-old.
No, me and the 10-year-old are tied.
Right. That's what's worse.
No, but Noah knows his football though.
Yeah, he's 10. He's only been here 10 years.
Still, he like Kevin when he was little. So I'll give him that pass. He's like Kevin when he was little.
Okay.
Anyway, so let's go to this week's games. And we will start with. Hold on. We'll start with Indianapolis Colts at 5-3 versus the Tennessee Titans at 6-2.
Yep.
So who wants to start that mantra? Colts at 5-3, Tennessee at 6-2. Let me give you some background on these games here. Well, you're just in time.
Right. Because I was waiting on Coach to give some insight on the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah. So
Coach is back.
All right. So the Colts lost to Baltimore 24-10, and Tennessee beat Chicago 24-17. That was last week's games.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here's the game we picking right here, and it's Tennessee at home at 6-2. Tennessee is actually pretty good.
Very good.
The coast is sporadic. So let's start with you, Coach.
Mhm.
Let's start with you.
I will take. Oh man, in this game, I'm going with the team with the bell cow running back. I think the Colts have the better defense, but I like the Titans' offensive line and Derrick Henry up front. I just think they'll wear them down in the end. I'm going to take the Titans in a close one.
All right. Professor.
The X factor is Ryan Tannehill. I'm going Ryan Tannehill over Phillip Rivers any day. It's Titans all the way.
Oh wow! Wait a minute now. So let's take a draft. You would draft Ryan Tannehill over Phillip Rivers?
No, you understand what I'm saying. Phillip Rivers is washed. You're not getting the Phillip Rivers that we know. We're getting a washed up Phillip Rivers. It's a reason why San Diego parted ways with him, and we're seeing the fruit of that now with the Colts. He has had more bad starting games, the games he started, more bad ones than he has good ones. The good ones now are every blue moon. I know they got Jacoby Brissett as a backup. If you ask me, I mean, Phillip Rivers by experience and from the cerebral standpoint will be a little bit better than Brissett at this point. But even then, Phillip Rivers, he's going to throw 2 or 3 interceptions every other game. That's where he's at now. He's a Hall of Famer, true enough, but he's washed. And Ryan Tannehill.
Whoa! Back up.
Okay.
Phillip Rivers is not a Hall of Famer.
He will be in the Hall of Fame, but he won't be a first ballot. That's a guarantee.
Okay, I give you that.
What I say. He's not a first ballot.
Yeah, I take that.
It's gonna probably take him.
He's gonna be a.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He's gonna be a 20th ballot.
It's gonna probably take him. It's gonna probably take him up to 10 years for him to get in. He will be in the Hall of Fame.
But he will.
He's just not first ballot.
Yeah. His numbers will put him there, but he just won't. He won't make it there his first 4 or 5 tries.
He's gonna be a 20th year Hall of Famer. He's gonna be on that old man's list, and then say, "Okay, let's go ahead and put him in."
So, I mean, Drew in. So what's the difference? It took Drew forever. Come on.
Yeah, but it shouldn't take Drew that long though.
But it did.
Anyway,
but yeah, Tennessee for me though.
All right, Chucky.
I'm riding, give him all the way. Ryan Tannehill. It is without a doubt. He is the truth. Miami. I don't know what Miami was doing, but we appreciate getting out of South Beach and got him home in Nashville. So I'm Titans 100%, and I think when it comes down the way I see this, it's a hammer versus nail, and my money's on the hammer that's running the ball for them every time. And I think eventually he'll pound them into submission like he does pretty much everybody else. So Tennessee for me.
Yeah, I'm Derrick Henry all the way. I mean, Derrick Henry. He's underrated, but he's the truth. Remember when we was watching Tennessee and Kansas City? Where were we at?
We was at this hotel. Me and Seth was at this hotel. He was hosting an event. It was playoff time, and it was probably one of my most frustrating moments ever. And this not even the Cowboys we're talking about. And Cedric has his TV set up for people. No, it was someone had a TV in the hotel while he was hosting an event. And I'm up here saying it's Tennessee and Kansas City. Tennessee is in a division round against Kansas City. Okay.
Yeah. Playoffs.
They started Dion Lewis. Tennessee started Dion Lewis, and Derek. And no. I take that back. They had DeMarco Murray. He was hurt.
DeMarco Murray. You should. Yep. DeMarco Murray. Yep.
They did. They started DeMarco Murray.
He was hurt. he was hurt, and so Kansas City started Derrick Henry. Okay, and he rushed for 164 yards in that game, but they lost. And I told Cedric, I said, this dude here should be the bell cow for the Tennessee in the future. Excuse my language, but I'll be damned. The next year, they go out in free agency and get Dion Lewis
Yep.
and started him as
Over
the starting
Derrick
running
Henry.
back
Yep.
over Derrick Henry. I'm like, what the hell is Tennessee doing? And then throughout the season, they kept pushing Lewis. And then when Derrick Henry came in the relief, he was just man handling everybody. So their year went along. They finally let go of Dion Lewis. Here we are in the third year, and they are now getting the fruit of the benefit with him. And I said all along, when they drafted Derrick Henry, even as a rookie, he should have started over DeMarco Murray. I don't know why. But they should have started Derrick Henry when he first got drafted, but they want to put DeMarco Murray over him. They want to put Dion Lewis over him. And I looked at that Kansas City playoff game. I'm up for like, this dude is the truth. But I don't know what the heck Tennessee was thinking those 2 years. And now we're seeing something that we should have saw in this first year. I don't know what took Tennessee this long to figure this out. It was right there in their face. But they finally
having said that,
get it down.
I'm going Tennessee on this game. And at home, I'm going Tennessee. I like Tannehill. I like DeMarco. I like Derrick Henry. I'm going Tennessee.
All right. Next game.
We have the Buccaneers versus the Panthers.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to start with you, Professor.
Wow.
This is in Carolina?
Yeah.
I'm going Carolina in an upset.
Oh.
I really like Teddy Bridgewater in this offense better than Cam Newton. If you saw the game against Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs on Sunday, Teddy Bridgewater, they had a fourth and 12 or 13, and the game was getting out of their hands. If they was not going to convert, the Chiefs would have won. If they was going to convert, they had a chance to score a touchdown. Teddy Bridgewater on 4th and 13 ran for a first down, and to the point he hopped, he literally dove over a defender or two just to get to the first down marker. And when I saw that, I saw a man that's determined to will his team to victory. Teddy Bridgewater, he's even though they're 3-6, and that's in loss for because of Christian McCaffrey, and he's about to be out again with a shoulder injury.
Correct.
And they're 3-6 loss for because their running back just can't stay on the field this year. But Teddy Bridgewater, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, even Curtis Samuel, he got them boys going. He got all three of his receivers going, and Bridgewater is not mistake prone. He throws nice deep balls, and he's very cerebral. And when we're talking about a quarterback that's determined, he has bounced back from that devastating knee injury when he was a Viking, and he's proven to everybody that he is definitely a starting quarterback. And I think him replacing Cam Newton was the best thing that the Panthers have done in a while. But in Carolina, and with the Brady and the Bucks being so in and out right now, after we saw the embarrassment on Monday Night Football, 38-3 to Breeze and the Saints at home in Tampa Bay, I think the Bucks will bounce back. But I got a feeling the Panthers is going to beat them, so I'm taking Carolina.
You may be okay with that because Carolina almost beat Kansas City.
Right.
That went down to, and Kansas City, in my estimation, is one of the better teams in the NFL. So you might be on point with that. We're gonna take it to Chucky. What you got?
Man, I like Teddy Two Gloves, but I think the way Bruce Arians is calling out Tom Brady in the media, I think the way that Bruce Arians is challenging Tom Brady, about, they asked him about Mike Adams. Why was Mike Adams not? He's like, Mike was open. So I think that Tampa Bay makes a roaring comeback, and the Panthers are the victim of it. I expect Tom to come back. I expect that defense to be a lot better, and I'm taking Tampa Bay. I think you get to see a full display of what the weaponry they have. Mike Evans, Godwin, AB, Gronk. I think you get a full arsenal of what they got that they can offer. And I think cerebrally, Tom Brady will pick them apart because, again, there's nothing new. Hadn't seen. I think the offensive line won't get pushed around again, and you'll get to see what that Tampa Bay offense that we all wish for, and it'll be a fantasy football extraordinaire. Everybody going to get a touchdown. Like Oprah Winfrey giving away cars, Tom will be giving away touchdowns on Sunday. So.
Okay. Coach, what you got?
I think sometimes we get caught up in previous games and how a team played another team. And sometimes we forget the teams play down to the competition. We watch Pittsburgh play down to the Cowboys. And I think that's what you saw with City in Carolina. And as a result, I think the Buccaneers are probably going to whoop their behind, probably pretty convincingly after the butt kicking they just took. And don't think they didn't notice what Carolina did with Kansas City, so you know they're not going to come in there and take it lightly. So I'll take the Buccaneers in this one.
All right. So I think I'm going with Tampa Bay too, and the reason why I say that is because Tampa Bay has been they've had a lot of close games, a lot of close, scary games. The New Orleans game, knocks you back into reality. And I think that Tom Brady, I mean, they got the weapons are just awesome. They've got a lot of weapons in Tampa Bay. And so I think they're going to take those weapons. And if this is the offensive game, I think offense is going to win, and I think Tampa Bay is going to wind up winning this game.
And I really believe that the Bucks have hit a rut because they struggled against the lowly Giants on Monday Night Football before they came back and won that game at the last minute. And then from that game to the 35-point defeat at home to the Saints, I think they hit a dry spot. Now, I'm not sure what's going on with that, but Brady and the Bucks, I'm not saying they're in trouble because I said in the beginning of the season that the Bucks, and I made this crazy assumption that they may go to the Super Bowl. But I think right now they have hit a dry spot, and it started with the Giants Monday night game, and it carried over to the Saints Bucks game, and we saw we saw something that we don't see too much from a Bruce Arians led team. I'm not going to say that they struggle. I'm not going to say they struggle against the Panthers, but I think it'd be a close one. But it's Carolina for me, and y'all choose the Bucks.
All right, Professor, we need to calm your whole going to the Super Bowl thing down, okay?
I'm not discounting the Bucks having the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl because look. Hey, remember? Okay, I'm gonna have to stick this to you again. Remember this broadcast.
Right, I'm in the boat with Professor on that. Tampa Bay Super Bowl. I don't think that's a far-fetched imagination.
All right, check it. Slow it, y'all slow it down. Just slow it down.
Okay.
Let's get through the season. I mean, predictions that run wild. They run rapid.
Remember this broadcast. Just remember this broadcast.
I know, and if
we are halfway through the season, so making some halfway through the season predictions are pretty normal. That's just kind of what we
Let's go to the next game. The Texans, 2-6, at the Browns, 5-3. I have no idea what Cleveland Browns team we're dealing with because Baker Mayfield has been in and out. So let's start with you, Coach.
Well, Cleveland will win because they beat everybody that stinks, and they lose to everybody that's pretty good. I mean, that's been their season. Anybody who's not any good, they look good against, and Baker will look solid against Houston because Houston's horrible on defense, and they'll win the game. and we'll talk about how they're going to make the playoffs and look like they have a good season, and then they'll turn around and play the Steelers and get beat 35-10 and look like crap. So the Texans are 2-6 and not very good. I expect the Browns to win a close one because the Texans. There we go.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, what about the situation with Baker Mayfield? Is he playing? He's not playing. Is he COVID-19 or not? What's going on with that?
He hasn't had the COVID. It's one of those things where you're around certain. He'll play. Yeah, he'll play. He'll be active by Sunday.
All right, Professor.
I'm going Houston.
Oh wow.
Wow. Okay.
All right, you got to explain yourself.
I don't trust Baker Mayfield. I don't put a lot of trust in him. Either you're gonna get the good Mayfield or the bad Baker. It's just one or the other. I know he doesn't have Odell Beckham. He's out for the season. I tend to believe that he's a better quarterback without OBJ.
Absolutely.
But then, as good as they looked against the Cowboys, and the coach brought up a good point. They play well against bad teams. I just believe that Houston is one of those games where we're looking at 26-23 either way. But I just get this gut feeling that Houston is going to upset the Browns in Cleveland. That's just my gut feeling. And even though they're 2-6, Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield will ever be. That's Superman back there. So I'm going Houston to close. So I'm going to say 26-23 is Houston.
All right, before you get to you, Chucky, respond to Deshaun Watson. Coach, respond to Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. You know, that's your OU guy. Is that true or not?
I'm a realist. Yeah, but I'm a realist. So I'm not an OU fan that says ridiculous things. I mean, Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield is. I don't know if he's Superman anymore because he's been, Superman's found a kryptonite this year because he ain't been playing particularly great this year. But he's better than Baker Mayfield. I'm not about to argue that right there. I'm not arguing that one.
Okay. I feel like I'm at the presidential debates. Chucky, what do you got?
This one's interesting because I kind of think that the Fighting Romeo Cromwells will be hyped up to go into Cleveland. I think there's a revenge factor. I think after being dismissed from Cleveland as he was, I think Romeo Cromwell will be amping up those boys to do something down in Houston. But again, I know it's blasphemous to say that Baker's a better quarterback without OBJ, but he is. He doesn't have to force the ball to that particular side of the field. He's more free to fling it around a little bit. I think that's more of who he is, the OU Baker. Just fling that thing around and see what happens. And again, Houston can't. I mean, again, Jacksonville ain't on the schedule this week, and that's seemingly the only people they can beat. So I'm gonna go with the Browns. And again, like everybody says, Baker will look good against them because their secondary is Swiss cheese alumni. Nobody's stopping anybody. And I don't know if he's still, as his coach called him, the Michael Jordan of football, Deshaun Watson. But I think he will he'll make it close. And I think they'll be playing with with a big chip on their shoulder from Coach Cromwell. But I think at the end of the day, Cleveland pulls this one out and they wins in a close one.
Okay, I have a question. I'm sorry. Is OBJ a smaller TO?
What?
Is his? I mean, like.
As much as I hate TO.
What's a big TO? AJ Green.
Oh yeah. As far as like is OBJ a cancer in the locker room?
If I'm Cleveland, I'm moving on from OBJ, and I think it's better for both of them. You talk about a regret signing we talked about earlier.
Yeah,
I think he was I think he has some regrets about signing there, and I think they have some regrets about signing him. So I think that's a marriage that's over. It tried and failed. I think having a reunion with Jarvis Landry sounded good when it was forming, but I think it's time to move on from both of them. I think both parties need to move on from each other.
So where does OBJ go next?
Wherever he
Probably
wants.
nowhere. Look, man. Look, I'm finna make everybody mad on this one. Odell Beckham Jr. might be one of the most overrated players I've ever seen. He's never on the field. But yet we put him at this high standard because he's made a couple. He had one great season. He made one spectacular catch, and he's been living off that year after year after year. This guy's never on the field, and he just tore up his knee again. He's done. I wouldn't pay him a lot of money. If he comes back and signs and plays well, fine. I still wouldn't pay him a lot of money because this guy is not good enough for the headache that he causes, and he does not improve any team. He makes quarterbacks worse. Eli started his decline the minute Odell started becoming a star. That's when you saw Eli get worse. Baker, when he got there, Baker was rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year. Odell gets there. Baker's so up and down and awful sometimes because he's trying to force feed Odell Beckham.
OBJ, yeah.
It's time for him to go. It's time for him to go.
Well, that's why I asked the question because, you know, when Romo came and T.O., Romo was trying to force feed T.O. because T.O. would say, give me the ball. Give it to me, give it to me, get it to me.
Yeah, see, what people forget, Tony Romo and T.O., chemistry was a lot better than people give them credit for.
Exactly.
Look at the numbers during that time he was with Dallas. Their touchdown quarterback receiver touchdown ratio probably the highest in the NFL during that time.
Right.
So for all that people say they didn't get along or he force fed them, I would force fed them too. T.O. was always available. He's a touchdown machine. So yeah, it's a big difference, man. I wouldn't compare the two. T.O.'s 10 times better wide receiver.
I signed T.O. right now, and he get you 10 touchdowns for the end of the season. Right now.
Well, is that between the crying? That's my quarterback, or
I'm saying either way. Again, I would sign T.O. right now on a team, or you know that, and he get you 10 touchdowns for the end of the season.
All right, would you sign Dez Bryant?
I would sign Dez. Dez is a red zone target. I would use him for what he is. He's a big body that can he can't high point the ball, but he can rebound it and put him in front of some small DBs and make him go down there and bully up some touchdowns. I think the Ravens did a great thing because he fits that image now. Go down there, do a 4 or 5 yard dig, turn around, and you just out rebound somebody.
Go get the ball, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, go get the ball.
Too bad his quarterback could throw it at his feet.
Jason Witness averaged more 2-yard receptions this season than I've ever seen.
They throwing it at his feet. All right, so I need to do my pick. I'm going to Cleveland. Next game, and this is a interesting game. The 2-6 Washington Redskins, or
nobody care.
I know, against the Lions, 3-5. I don't know what Washington team are we looking at.
The one Alex Smith is the quarterback of.
Will he be the quarterback this year? I mean, this time?
Yes.
Because I know
the quarterback broke his ankle.
He broke his ankle on national TV, and they have something against any quarterback from Ohio State. So he wasn't even dressed it up until this week. So
now Washington. Okay, we're gonna start with Professor. What you got, Professor?
Oh, it's Detroit all the way. It wasn't even second guessing this game. It's Matt Stafford and company, and no questions asked about this. That's a simple game to pick.
Yes, a better quarterback. Chucky, what you got?
We'd be better off talking about when they're gonna name a team other than football team.
I know. What's up with that?
That's the only thing that's interesting about Washington is they need to start a national poll and name the football team. That's it. Other than that, it's no mystery. It's bad football all the time. I'm going with Matthew Stafford who spent his last week in COVID protocol, showed up for the game, flew a private jet to the stadium, and then showed up for the game. Had to stay in his own hotel and didn't see the team until Sunday morning in pregame. So I'm gonna go with Matthew Stafford in Detroit. Detroit is what they are. Again, this is something I could have waited to see Thanksgiving right between. But since we're gonna be force fed this week, hey, I go with Detroit football. Let's go. With
all right, I have a question. And any one of y'all can answer. Coach, Chucky, Professor, y'all can answer the question. Which owner do you want, Daniel Snyder or Jerry Jones?
Well, that's a trick question because Daniel Snyder wants to be Jerry Jones. So I take the senior.
Well, I definitely take Jerry Jones over Daniel Snyder in a day. No, that's not even a debate.
Yeah, Gary, that's a no-brainer to me.
Yeah.
All right, Al Davis Jr. or Jerry Jones?
Jerry Jones.
Yeah, Jerry. I
Again,
take
that's a
Jerry over
no-brainer.
any owner. I just thought the GM sucks.
Well, we're not. Okay. All right, Coach, who you got? Washington Lions.
I'm going to take the Redskins in this game. I still like the Redskins defensive front. They actually have some weapons that I like. I think it's McLaren, number 17, the wide receiver. I really like. I like the
him.
running back in the backfield, Gibson. I think he brings a little explosiveness to the table. In Detroit, there's nothing special about them either. I personally think this is a pick'em game, but I'm gonna go with Washington because I like their defensive line better, and I think they'll get enough stops to. I think it'll be a close game, probably looking at a 24-27 type game, but I'll take Washington.
All right, I'm gonna go Detroit because to me it's the better quarterback.
Coach said that you picked them like I like their uniforms. That was the next criteria.
That did look at that.
Their uniforms.
Yeah, that did feel like I like their uniform, right? I like the burgundy and the gold. Yeah,
the burgundy and gold.
Burgundy and gold look good. Yeah, I did. I was gonna say that, but
when we're talking about an irrelevant game, you get those kind of answers short and quick.
It's one of flip them coins. Okay, heads or tails. Okay, yeah, tails. Okay, it's Washington. Now I'm going to go Detroit on this right here. For me, it's like who's the better quarterback, and because Washington don't know who their quarterback is, I'm going Matthew Stafford. Okay, next game. This should be easy too. The 1-7 Jaguars. I know versus the Packers 6-2.
This is where we all say together, Packers, and then go to the next one.
Right.
Okay, Packers. Okay.
No explanation needed. No explanation needed.
We're in agreement, right? Packers keep moving,
we all
right?
In agreement. Packers.
I don't.
Aaron, yeah, I think Aaron could get them.
Hold up. We got to look at Professor because Professor always do some crazy stuff on us. Are we in agreement, Professor?
Oh yeah, Minshew is out.
Okay.
And they were the rookie quarterback, and nobody right now can stop the Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams connection right now. That pair there is just unstoppable right now.
All right, so we're in agreement, right?
Yeah. It's Packers all the way.
Next thing,
It just get worse.
The 3-4-1 Eagles versus the Giants 2-7, and Giants just beat the football team,
right? And they had to come from behind. So yeah.
So Chucky, I'm gonna start with you.
Why?
He said why?
Here's the thing. Because it's almost asking me who do I pick between Dallas and bye, and I'm actually leaning toward bye.
You want the bye week to win, right?
Yeah, I'm actually leaning toward the bye week. Here's my thing. Because of Pennsylvania and Carson Wentz and that squad is just so ridiculous, I'm actually gonna go with Danny Dimes and the Giants. I think the fighting Jason Garrett. I think Jason Garrett is finding his way in New York. I think he's putting together some better game plans. I like the play calling that he did to finish out the game against Washington last week. I like the drives that Danny Dimes is being able to sustain them and move the ball downfield. And they actually opened it up, throwing the ball downfield. I just think that the Eagles are still trying to flop around, and I don't think the Eagles can win without Nick Folk. Basically,
Okay, but let's talk about let's talk about that run that Danny Dimes had. He was in open field. He was going to score. No one is around him.
They don't pay him to run.
But he trips over himself.
They don't pay him to run. They pay him to throw. I think, again, he's clumsy. That piano got on is 90 yards. Somebody touched him on the shoulder and said, hey,
Is that the look of the NFC West right now? I mean, NFC East right now? You can score, but you're going to trip over yourself and fall.
Yeah.
And you will never get that.
I think anybody having a tie on their schedule in 2020 still. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Giants. I'm going to go with the G-Men. And I think they can win, and that'll pull them to a whole 3 wins, and they'll be 3-7. So there you go.
All right, Coach.
I actually like the Giants as well. I like the Giants because I don't think anybody's paying a lot of attention. They've been playing good football for a few weeks now. They should have beat the Cowboys. Okay, they choked the game away against Philadelphia. They choked the Tampa Bay game. Then they turned around and beat Washington. Their defense is improving. The offensive line play is better. They have weapons that receive Slayton, Shepard, and then they tight end who I like a lot when he gets open. He sometimes has the dropsies. And then they've had this little running back, Gilliam, in the backfield. This is a solid, young, coming together football team. And if you've been paying attention, they're starting to play a winning brand of football. And I fully expect them to go in at home to beat Philadelphia, who I think Philadelphia is very fortunate to be where they are because their quarterback's all over the place. He's playing worse than Daniel Jones. And so why would I go with Philadelphia right now? I don't like Philadelphia. I like their defense, and that's it. And I just think the Giants are a better football team. And I think it'll be proven on Sunday.
All right. Professor.
Definitely taking Philly on this one. I think they're the best team in the NFC East right now. And Daniel Jones, for what it's worth, he's still growing as a quarterback. Over the last 4 or 5 games, he have had at least 2 turnovers. And I think the Eagles defense is going to take advantage of that and eat those turnovers all day. And then with the play of Travis Fulgham, the number 1 wide receiver on the team right now, he looks like an all-pro wide receiver right now with him and Wentz hooking up. And so with that being said, I think it's going to be a tight NFC East showdown, one of those 24-27 games. But I think the Eagles is going to best the Giants in this one.
Well, I think I'm going Giants in this game. And the reason why I'm going Giants, and please forgive me when I say this, but Jason Garrett is probably a better offensive coordinator than he is a coach.
I agree.
There is no probably to that.
Yeah,
right. I agree with that.
So as Jason Garrett being the offensive coordinator, I think he can maneuver some things to where he'll make adjustments in the second half if there's a problem. I'm going Giants in this game right here, which means that it makes the NFC East that much more interesting because heck, every team is 1 game out of the first place. At 8 games in the NFC East, 4 or 5 games win you the NFC East, which is crazy.
Which is sad. Which is why Jerry won't pull the trigger on this foolishness. But as we move on.
Yeah. We'll deal with that last part of the show. We getting there. Yeah, we're gonna definitely get there. The 72 Bills versus the Cardinals 5-3. I want to start off with Professor. No. I'm sorry. Professor, you got to start on this one right here.
I'm taking Josh Allen and the Bills all the way, but it won't be a runaway victory. I think it'll be closer than what people think. And I continue to say Josh Allen he should be in the MVP conversation. His brand of football is fun to watch. But I think I'm looking at a Bills 30, Cardinals 23 in this game.
Ooh, you calling the scores out. Uh-oh. Challenge. Chucky.
I agree with Coach. I agree with the professor. I like, in the words of Chris Berman, nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. I like them. I like Josh. I think the thing about him is what I really gained respect for him is he did an interview early on this season, and they asked him what could he attribute his quarterback play to and how did he improve from last year to this year. And I think he gave a really good commentary. He said, "I spent the summer with Tony Romo." People forget that Tony Romo is that type quarterback, and he spent the summer here with Tony Romo, worked out with Tony Romo, and kind of got his footwork together, arm angles, things of that nature. And when you say that, Professor, he plays that fun type of football. If you think about it, look at his game and think back about Romo's game, and you can see
same thing.
He put some sprinkles into it, and I like that brand of football. He's actually taught him how to reach, how to get Cole Beasley involved, and I like that. So I like Buffalo this game, and I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I don't think it'll be that close either.
All right, Coach.
Josh Allen started the season like a man possessed. Then he hit a lull where he wasn't very good against Tennessee, Kansas City, the Jets, and New England. Then he played a Seattle team whose defensive backfield is horrible and lit their world up. And I think we've gotten a little too carried away on how good he really is. I think he's improved, definitely, but I don't put him on the level of Russell Wilson or nothing like that just yet. But with that being said, because I don't like Arizona's defense at all and what they allow Tua to do to them because their defense is terrible, I expect Buffalo to win a shootout. I think Kyler and company will put points on the board. I think we're going to see something like that Seattle game with Buffalo where you're not scoring. Probably something like 38-28, 38-31, something like that. I will take Buffalo in this game just because I think the Buffalo Bills have a more complete team, and I think Arizona is just an offensive team that's trying to find their way on defense.
All right. I think this game, you're going to see Kyler Murray. Okay, so let me say this right here. When Kyler Murray first got into the league, I was not a Kyler Murray fan. Am I correct? Yeah, I remember that, right?
Yeah, you were foolish.
Yep. I'm a Kyler Murray. I think you're gonna see Kyler Murray's heart in this game, and that's why the Cardinals will win. Because
we're talking about MVP candidates. Kyler Murray's first quarterback throw for 2,000 and rush for over 500 in the first 8 games. It doesn't get more MVP like than that.
I'm saying you're gonna see his heart in this game, though. You're gonna see with Kyler Murray. So I'm saying I'm going Arizona. And I don't necessarily pick them, but I'm going Arizona.
Okay.
All righty.
Y'all okay? Okay. We keep it moving, right? Here's a good game. The Broncos 3-5 versus the Raiders 5-3.
That's an easy one.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so we all in agreement. Raiders over Broncos.
No, we're not. Why is that an easy game? Why is that an easy game? I'm confused. I want somebody to explain to me why this is an easy game for the Raiders.
I don't say
the Raiders don't look dominant to me. They've had some good wins. Okay.
Yeah, I say it's a win. I don't think it's an easy game at all. I think Drew Lock and Judy and that offense there and the running back for Denver all those are good parts of the play. And I think they play solid defense. I don't say it's an easy game. I don't think the Raiders have an easy game on their schedule. I think they all will work. And I just think that they will outlast Denver and win, but I don't think it's going to be an easy game.
I think with Josh Jacobs back in the fold, it makes it a better game for the Raiders. It makes it a really great game for the Raiders to where, I think the Raiders win this hands down.
Go ahead, Professor. I'll go last.
Professor, what you got?
I think it'll be it's an AFC West. I'm choosing Raiders 31, Broncos 17. Fant is a very good tight end. He can't stay on the field the way he wants to because of his bum ankle that he have had the last 4 weeks off and on. Judy is outstanding. The player that worries me a lot is Drew Lock. Either get bad luck or the good luck for this reason. I saw the Chargers. Was it the Chargers 2 weeks ago? It was the Chargers in Denver. He made some mistakes in that game that I felt like he should have caught pre-read.
Mm-hmm.
His balls were overthrown. Then the game after that, which was Sunday, he was a little bit better, but for the most part, Drew Lock still has some learning to do. He's still developing. I don't think you can trust him in the game like you would, believe it or not, Derek Carr, who has finally improved his game after all these years.
Thanks, Coach.
Finally, because I was starting to think Derek Carr got a contract and he wasn't worth it, but he's starting to show that he is worth it. But I think when it's boiled down to it, I think the Raiders is going to take advantage of Drew Lock in this game at home. But Raiders 31, Broncos 17.
All right,
I
Chucky.
think,
Coach, go ahead.
I think Broncos are too young right now. They're not ready yet to really be a factor. I think this game will be closer than what people think. I think Derek Carr kind of gets a raw deal. First of all, he's having a terrific season. Only 16 touchdown passes, only 2 picks. He's not turning the football over. Every game is not the same, and that's what I like. He's not throwing for 300 yards every game. I mean, the last game looks like he threw for 180 yards or something along those lines. Yeah, like 165, 2 touchdowns, no picks. So he's taking what the defense is giving him, and that's what's giving the Raiders a chance to win. And I think that pick, but I think we might need to give him more credit than what we kind of badmouth him a lot. But I looked at his career stats, man, and he has 159 touchdowns and only 64 interceptions in his career. So he's been a lot better than I think we think he's been, including myself, who I've used the word trash quite a few times, and I think I'm wrong about the trash part of it. I may just need to go to, he's sometimes paper bag bad, but not trash.
Was that one year he had that remember Carr and Dak Prescott was kind of on the same level, and then Carr dropped off, and it was that one year that he dropped off, and everybody said, "Okay, he's trash."
I don't think he throws a lot of interceptions. It's the timing. They're horrible when he throws them. But here's to be honest with you. First of all, John Gruden has definitely slowed him down and slowed the game down for him. That's one plus. But the thing that Derek Carr is missing, and this is kind of crazy, but the thing that he's missing, Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper, yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah, he's missing Amari Cooper. If he had Amari Cooper and Ruggs, they would probably have what they want to have there.
But that's a John Gruden thing, though.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, again,
that's a John Gruden thing.
And to you, Coach, I mean, he's throwing 4 and 5 yard outs to Jason Witten when he's not hitting, when he's not hitting the big tight end. He's still throwing 5 yards to Jason Witten, who's for sure gonna get you a grab. And but I like them. I think here's the question I got for the group right quick. Why do you think it's so hard for Denver to get a quarterback when John Elway is still in their front office? Like why is he such a bad evaluator quarterback talent?
I can answer that right there. And my answer to this right here is great players make horrible teachers. They make horrible evaluators because they're a great player. I mean, you've had Paxton Lynch.
John Lynch is a great player, and he's doing a hell of a job in San Francisco when they're not injured up.
Great point.
Okay.
Great point.
No. You'll get 1 or 2 that's good, but the overall, I mean, we can talk about Magic Johnson, who was a great player, was a horrible GM and a horrible coach. We can talk about Michael Jordan.
That's a different sport, though. In football, a lot of the great players don't care to be in those positions. To be honest, I think people have been trying to get Peyton Manning in that position for a while, but he won't take it.
Want that at all.
Tony Romo is in the booth, and I'm sure he could be coaching somewhere or something like that. So I just think in the NFL, a lot of the great players. Go ahead.
Well, look at Mike Singletary. Not necessarily a great defensive coordinator. I mean, shoot, you got Ken Norton Jr., who's down in Seattle, who's doing a great job in Seattle.
Look at Ozzie Newsome,
a Hall of Fame drafter, GM, and
yeah. I mean, so you get those, but I don't think the overall consensus is, you talk about John Elway. Well, John Elway has brought in, like, how many quarterbacks he's brought in?
But that's my question. I'm not asking John Elway to go out and pick a whole team. I need you to pick the one position that you played. Like
that,
That's the one I want you to evaluate. Go find us a quarterback. We will take care of the rest of the other 21. You get the one we need at the QB position. And I just think that's the problem I have, is why they keep struggling at the QB position when he is in the front
office. Probably in the minority here, but I like Drew Lock. I actually like Drew Lock. I just think Drew Lock he's not a finished product. I think he's playing sooner than he needs to be playing. He's the type that needed to sit for a year or two. He's not the type that should have been thrown out there right away. But I like Drew Lock. I'm not ready to give up on him just that. I've seen some things that I like a lot, and I think can translate into a good career.
But maybe you need to get more.
Oh, gosh, no. I didn't like him coming out of college.
But maybe you need to get more quarterback coaches that's going to transform him to become a better, because it's not just picking a player. Now it's picking the coaches that's going to train this guy up, and then you got to put the team around him that's going to help him be successful.
Also, what hurts Drew Lock, another thing that hurts him is Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, those guys coming out and being so good so fast. And I think it's not fair to him because a couple of reasons why. First of all, Justin Herbert, he inherited some good offensive weapons.
He did.
And then Joe Burrow, I mean, he's the number one pick in the draft for a reason. So I think we need to be patient with Drew Lock and give him a chance and not lose patience with him too soon and miss out on a possible really good quarterback.
Yeah, I think you can. That's not a problem. I just again, if they finally have hit on one, they've gone through a lot of them. John
and to your
quarterback gauntlet. So
to your point, Chucky, is you're right. You got the quarterback guru in John Elway, which I think John Elway is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in NFL in history, which I would say, because I watched.
I don't think nobody will argue that.
Okay, I'm just making sure, because y'all got some different arguments going on right here. Anyway, but you got one of the top 5, and then he's bringing in like 8 million quarterbacks, and you only hit on 1 or 2. So one.
We got
you need to hit on 1. If you hit on 1, you got him for 50. So you just need to hit once.
Right. Yeah. Again, that's what I always say. You don't need to win the lottery one time.
What you got, Professor?
I was gonna say I'm thinking about the quarterbacks that he has brought in since he's been GM. And I'm thinking about Jay Cutler, Brock Osweiler, Tim Tebow, Peyton Manning, Drew Lock,
Paxton Lynch.
Paxton Lynch, yeah. and
Cutler wasn't the bad quarterback; he just was a franchise quarterback.
And do Osweiler again, because he threw Osweiler away and then brought him back again.
Didn't get enough of that failed experiment.
Right, he wanted more.
It's
forward in the NBA, but yeah.
I kind of agree with Coach. I think Drew Lock is probably someone you can definitely look at, but like I mentioned earlier, And some of the games that I saw, you can tell he still needs some development, but you saw potential. And Coach did bring up a good point. We think about um, the likes of Herbert, the likes of Tua, the likes of Kyler Murray. I mean, these younger quarterbacks, Joe Burrow, and they are just they're lights out already. But Drew Lock is one of those quarterbacks that he got the talent, he just needs time. And I think if you give him time. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say you got to mention Prescott was right there. Because remember, Paxton Lynch and Prescott was in the same draft class.
What round was Drew Lock? What round was Drew Lock?
I think it's either third. No. Drew Lock was like two drafts after Prescott. But I'm talking about
what round though? What
like
round was Drew Lock drafted in?
Second or third.
I think the thing about that, like you said, is that they have to have a good quarterback coach. God rest Wade.
Yeah.
I think that the Cowboys had a great quarterback coach that was able to sit there with Dak Prescott. I think those guys need to have somebody on the sideline with them in the quarterback room.
Mm-hmm.
I think someone that played the position is helpful.
Yeah, Drew Lock, second round pick. He was the 42nd pick of the draft.
There you go. Yeah,
second round. Okay,
you got to manage who you got in the room with those guys.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to put Prescott in that because I think out of the quarterbacks I just mentioned that's been drafted within the last 3 or 4 years, I believe Prescott is the one that was drafted in the latest of all the rounds in the fourth round. Everybody else I mentioned, everybody else I mentioned is either first, second, or third. That's why I didn't put in Prescott because I'm thinking about going back to what Coach was saying. Not fair putting him in the likes of Herbert and Tua and Kyler Murray in there. Well, shoot, they were first and second round picks, just like Drew Lock. They just say Drew Lock just need a little bit more time than the other ones who have already on fire. But I can't put Prescott in there because Prescott was in the freaking fourth round and no one expected him to do what he's doing now. So
I mean, but having said that, you can say Dan Marino, who's a second round, who's a late first round draft choice.
I mean, I'm not going that far back. Marino is well, we're not going there. I know says you're school, but sometimes we gotta leave old school alone. This is new.
We gotta stay now.
What's happening now?
My biggest fear, Coach, is that the team gets good before Drew Lock does, and then that's going to hinder the team. That's my fear. Is that team is developing faster than he is. And they will stay on the upward trend, and then he may be the thing that's pulling them back. And I don't want that to happen, because then the team will eject him. Let's move. Let's go together, but I think the team around him is slightly better than he is.
All right, let's move on. Coach, this one's for you.
Okay.
You start. Chargers 2-6, Dolphins 5-3.
The Chargers can't hold a lead. They've choked more games away than any team I can think of. They'll probably figure out a way to choke this one away as well.
Then Atlanta,
and I don't care.
Atlanta chokes games away too.
Yeah, but the Chargers they're just as bad. And I'm gonna take the Chargers to win because I like the Cubs a lot, like Herbert a lot, and eventually you're gonna start winning some of these games. You can't continue to lose in the last minute of every single game.
Oh yeah, you can.
One has to go your way. My goodness gracious! And so I'm gonna take the Chargers in the upset.
All right, let's go, Chucky.
It's without a doubt Tua Tagovailoa. I'm going with the Fiends. I am going with the Fiends to ride it out, continue to ride the Alabama product. Again, I thought the day he was able to start, he was never going back. That gene is out of the bottle, and I see the Fiends making the playoffs, and so I'm riding with Miami.
And you see how their defense is starting to step up now? Miami's defense is really starting to step up now
and
because
teams. And
the
whole team is behind this kid. He has raised the pulse of this team, and I'm with him.
Yeah.
Kyler
Professor, what you got?
Miami up. And we're talking about their defense.
Kyler Murray's gonna light a lot of defensive up.
No, but they got a pick six off of Kyler Murray though. They did get a pick six off of Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray's gonna
But-
light a lot of defense.
And
But
no, they
by
got a
defensive,
fumble return for a touchdown. He didn't throw a pick six.
all right, by a defensive player, by a defensive lineman.
Yeah, they forced the fumble from him. Yeah, good play. It was a good defensive play.
Yeah. Professor, what you got?
When you have a team where all 6 of their losses is by 1 possession, each loss was by 1 possession, you right there. You just, for whatever reason, you just not bringing the moolah home.
That tells you can't finish. They got a problem finishing.
I got a feeling the Chargers is gonna best the Dolphins in this one. I really like Justin Herbert. That Herbert that Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is getting at least 13 to 15 targets a game with this quarterback.
He's done wonders for me on DraftKings. Oh my gosh, I pick him every week.
When Tyrod Taylor was at the helm, Allen was barely getting that many targets. This kid is the real deal, and Allen is really a wide receiver 1 in his offense as long as Justin Herbert is at quarterback. And Herbert has thrown for at least 3 or more touchdown passes in 4 of his last 5 games. I mean, the dude is for real. Tua is up and coming, but I think the Chargers are going to pull this one out, and it won't be a loss of 1 possession. I think they will beat the Dolphins by 1 possession.
Okay. All right, I'm going Miami. We got 8 minutes left. We're going to try to speed this up. The Seahawks 6-2 versus the Rams 5-3, which is always a good game, and they're going back at home to LA. Seahawks had an upset. They lost. I can't believe why they lost this past weekend. I'm gonna start out first. I think they're gonna get back on the snide. I think Seahawks wins this game. Anybody can jump in.
I like Russ. I want to let Russ cook. I think TK Metcalf. I think Bobby Wagner and them make atonement for getting just handled last week.
Yeah.
So I think Russ is gonna cook, and I'm going with Seattle.
Is Russell Wilson a part of the MVP candidates right now?
I think he
No
was.
question.
I think he took a step back. Yeah, I think he was until then. I think he took a step back last week. So yeah.
So
And to answer your question, why the Seahawks lost to the Bills. Don't forget, the Seahawks pass defense has been horrendous all season.
Terrible.
Even when even when Prescott played against it, Prescott passed for 458 against this defense when he was
Yeah,
healthy.
they horrible.
They are bad. Josh Allen, 4 touchdowns in Buffalo. Their pass defense, their run defense is really good, but their passive defense is bad.
Crappy, yeah.
Had not been for their passive defense, I'm surprised Seahawks are 6-2, but they're 6-2 with a bad pass defense because of Russell Wilson.
They got good offense. Yeah. I mean, DJ Metcalf was off the chain.
Yeah, but I'm taking Seahawks all the way. There's no way they lose to the Rams after what happened in Buffalo. I don't think Russ let that happen.
I'm thinking the same thing. Coach, what do you got? Seahawks?
Yep, Russell Wilson's the best player in football, and he's going to win the game for him.
All right. Okay, so let me take a side note. So MVPs, is Josh Allen a part of that?
I think he's a part of that, but I think he'll probably be 3rd, 4th, or 5th in the ballot.
Yeah.
He's not going to win MVP, but he's in a conversation. But I don't think he'll.
So you got Russ Wilson, Josh Allen. Who would be the 3rd MVP? Would Rodgers be there? Aaron Rodgers
needs to be number 1.
This is my order right here. Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes,
number
Russell
1.
Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, and whoever else doesn't matter. Those are my 4. I guess you could probably Might want to start thinking about throwing Drew Brees in there, maybe. I don't know.
No, I don't. I'm not necessarily sold on. I mean, but what about Kyler Murray?
No.
They're
need to see
going
a
to have
few
too
more-
many losses.
I need to see a few more dubs on the screen to say that.
Right.
All right,
Right.
all right. Next game, right? Have you picked this game, Coach? Have you picked this game, Seahawks and Rams?
Yes, Seahawks. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Seahawks.
This is a good one right here. The injury prone 49ers who are 4-5 versus the Saints who we have no idea what team's going to show up.
Oh yeah, you do.
No, yes, you do. Now, I
Yeah, you
disagree
do.
with that.
You know
Michael
which
Thomas
team
is
gonna show
back.
up. Yeah, the Saints gonna be Saints. This is not even close.
Oh, 49ers.
How can you say
Oh,
a
absolutely.
6-2 team?
49ers
We don't know who's
have
going
nobody.
to show up.
Yeah, I don't even know. I think the 49ers got a cheerleader playing quarterback. I don't even know who playing the 49ers. They ain't got no Kittle. They got nothing.
I mean, even if they had Garoppolo, he'd be a cheerleader.
They have nothing. The 49ers are just a injury prone situation out there. I don't know what it is.
Do we think that they overpaid Garoppolo?
Yeah, I
He's
told
healthy,
y'all
he's
when
good.
they did it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they overpaid Garoppolo because he can't even drive a bus.
I mean, we just talked about Jared Goff was overpaid. Carson Wentz is overpaid. That's the same thing. Dak Prescott would be overpaid. That just happens in the league.
Ooh, Dak Prescott overpaid.
Yeah, he's not worth $45 million, but he's gonna get it.
What about 40?
He's making more money sitting at home on his couch right now. So
Oh man.
All right, we all going Saints,
I
right?
picked the Saints in this game. Yeah, but be careful.
Saints all
This
the way.
has trap written all over.
they ain't got nobody who playing for the 49ers. They bring back Steve Young and Jerry Rice.
Roger Craig. Roger Craig coming back.
Oh, okay.
All right, next game. Bengals and Steelers. We all know Steelers, right?
This is the trap game right here.
You think?
This
Well,
is
you
the
like?
trap.
Well, shoot. The Steelers were trapped last game.
No,
Had
this
Cowboys
is
pulled it
the
out.
mouse with the cheese right here, right through up in here is where they need to be putting the little. Bill Parcells will put the little mouse traps around the locker room because this is the trap game.
All right, Chucky. Then it's a trap game. What you going Bengals?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, yeah. Forget the trap.
I don't love them like that. Now I will watch it. Now I will watch it for entertainment. I mean, again, but Big Ben and COVID protocol and the other 4 players and
Yeah, Big Ben might not play this weekend.
they'll release him out. They're just like Coach said, he'll be out by Saturday and be ready.
I don't know. Andy Dalton was in COVID profile for like the last 3 weeks, right? They didn't release him yet.
To come back and play.
Is it no?
I
He
would
good.
still be in concussion
Oh,
or
he
COVID, either one. If I'm Andy Dalton,
He had a concussion the first time.
Yeah, but then after that, I'm in COVID now.
yeah. But again, I'm gonna go with the Steelers. But it is a trap. It is one that I would not sleep on. I think what happened last week, Coach Tomlin will have them amped up, ready to go because what the debacle that could have happened in Dallas.
Yeah, it would happen here.
Yeah, so I think but I think that in the other side of Cincinnati will be amped up, ready to play too. Division games, you throw the records out and just suit up and go play.
Yeah, anybody got anything different? Everybody Steelers?
Steelers.
All right, let's go. Let's keep it moving. We only got 4 minutes, a minute left. Actually, Ravens, Patriots.
Baltimore.
Ravens.
Yeah, Baltimore.
And Dez gets a touchdown.
After what I saw from the Patriots defense, Ravens and Ravens big.
All right,
Dez
and
gets a touchdown this week.
Dez might even get on the field this week.
Dez got on the field last week. Dez is getting a touchdown against Patriots and one against Dallas.
Oh, they do got to play Dallas. So we okay. Yeah, he gonna be amped, ain't he? All right, last game. Vikings 3-5, Bears 5-4.
The fighting Dalvin Cook.
Minnesota.
I got the Vikes.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Dalvin Cook is off the chain. He has brought up a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm going Minnesota in this game right here. Even though it's at Chicago, I'm going Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Coach, you saying Minnesota too?
Man, so.
All right. Well, we done run through this week's games. Any final words? We're gonna start with you, Coach. Okay.
I enjoyed the show. I'm glad the Cowboys have a bye. They need one, and I need a break from the headache that they are every week. And that's that.
Yeah, because now we don't have to go back to a win or lose weekend, do we?
No.
Right.
Professor, what's going on? Last words.
Last word. Ben DiNucci and Andy Dalton is allowing Dak to make more money off the field.
Absolutely.
And they probably happy about that too, huh? Chucky, last words.
I hope that Big Mike and the Cowboys take this bye week to evaluate where they are. I like the things that Mike Nolan's trying to implement on defense. I hope that they build on what they did the last couple of games. I am agreeing. Dak Prescott is making more money on his couch than anybody else. And again, this weekend, no Jets or Cowboys. Thank the league for that.
All right, this has been 4-1 Sports Talk Radio, 4 Radio Network. Yeah, I know. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Chucky. We will be back next week because we don't have a Cowboy game to talk about. That means that we'll be happier than we've been in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, they'll have a win. They beat by.
Well, I don't know. They still might lose. Well, no. If Philadelphia loses, they still would. It's still in there. It makes no sense. The NFC East at 3 games, you can still win.
God almighty.
Anyway, this has been 4-1 Sports Talk Radio, 4radionetwork.com. We will see you guys next week. Thank you, and we are out.